In with some sad news, and Sir Frank Williams, the founder and former team principal of Williams Racing, has died at the age of 79. Williams Racing have released this statement. They say it is with great sadness that on behalf of the Williams family, the team can confirm the death of Sir Frank Williams, CBE, founder and former team principal of Williams Racing at the age of 79. After being admitted into hospital on Friday, Sir Frank passed away peacefully this morning, surrounded by his family. Stefano Domenicali, the F1 president and CEO, has said this. This morning, Claire Williams called to inform me of the very sad news that her beloved father, Sir Frank Williams, had passed away. He was a true giant of our sport that overcame the most difficult of challenges in life and battled every day to win on and off the track. We have lost a much loved and respected member of the F1 family, and he will be hugely missed. His incredible achievements and personality will be etched on our sport forever. My thoughts are with all the Williams family and friends at this sad time. Well, the Williams driver George Russell has taken to Twitter this afternoon as well. He said, "Today we say goodbye to the man who defined our team. Sir Frank was such a genuinely wonderful human being, and I'll always remember the laughs we shared. He was more than a boss, he was a mentor and a friend to everybody who joined the Williams Racing family, and so many others." Well, we can now cross to our reporter Craig Slater for more on this. Craig, just explain Sir Frank's standing in Formula One.
Sir Frank Williams was a giant of motorsport, Rob. I think that's the only way to put it. And the kind of individual, it strikes me, they just don't make anymore. A founder, a team principal of his team, someone instrumental in the transformation of Formula One from just another motorsport to the preeminent motorsport series in the world. This was someone who began the team that would become famous throughout the world in a humble carpet factory in Oxfordshire, and then got into that partnership with Sir Patrick Head, and they really were a tremendous double act. Sir Frank looked after the business side of things, a great deal maker, someone who had an eye for talent, and Sir Patrick Head looking after the technical side, building a series of tremendous cars. Amazing how quickly from the team's foundation in 1977, although Sir Frank had a deeper history in motorsport than that, but from Williams Foundation, how quickly they were able to become race winners and world champions in 1980 via Alan Jones. Altogether, 16 world championships by that team, claimed by that team in the 1980s and the 1990s. 7 different drivers' champions as well. And I think the fact that there's 7 different individuals won their 7 different drivers' championships also lends a little bit of a window into the ruthlessness with which Sir Frank ran his business. It was very much his team, and even though there were a whole host of star names involved in it, he was the man in charge. And even if someone had the standing of a world champion like our own Damon Hill, immensely popular, they often didn't last beyond their world championship year. He was always pushing the team on and bringing in fresh talent. So an amazing individual. And I think as well we have to pause at this point in reflecting on his life to note that from 1986, Sir Frank was confined to a wheelchair, was a tetraplegic, in effect, had very limited use of his arms and not of his legs. And what an incredible example set in terms of his continued participation, galvanizing and leading that Formula One team to success after success, even after as I say, he was confined to that medical condition, having had a car accident in France in 1986. So an incredible figure, a legend of Formula One, and someone who leaves an incredible legacy.
Yeah, and quite simply, as you said, they're one of the biggest figures, Craig, of Formula One history. What legacy do you expect that he will leave, not just for Williams Racing, but also F1 as a sport?
Well, I think we have to remember as well that the family have not owned the Williams team for a couple of years now. It was sold to Dorilton Capital, an American hedge fund, a couple of years ago. But the Williams name endures. Now, we've seen lots of teams change names over the years. Williams is so iconic that as a brand, it has its own strength and value. And I think, for one thing, that will certainly endure. But when you look at at the history of Formula One, I always remember the quote from Ayrton Senna when Williams were the all-conquering team, and he was rather off the pace at McLaren, who had been eclipsed by Sir Frank's new car, the 14B, with its active suspension and all of that. Ayrton Senna said, "I would drive the Williams Renault for nothing." That was how good the team were at that point in their history. That the very best in the world wanted to drive that car. And when you think of the Piquets and the Sennas, obviously, who tragically died in the car at Imola in 1994, having got his wish of joining the team. But you think of the Jacques Villeneuves, the Damon Hills, the Nigel Mansells, the great champions associated with the team, and the respect they all had for Sir Frank as well, the way they looked up to him and respected him. I think he will always be one of the handful of individuals who made Formula One what it is today. And it's hard to imagine any one man coming in now, starting a team from such humble beginnings. It's impossible, in fact, to think that they could go on to achieve what Sir Frank managed to achieve with all those championships, building it from scratch into a multi-million pound business and reigning supreme on the global stage. That will never be repeated. That is of its era. But a sad day today, but this is someone whose legacy will never be forgotten.
Absolutely. Craig, thank you very much. Our reporter Craig Slater there, reflecting on the sad news that Sir Frank Williams, the former team principal of Williams Racing and, of course, the founder there, has died at the age of 79.